The thing is like I like people to subscribe, but I'm not one of those people that is going to do anything to keep you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I appreciate you being here, and if this is where we part ways, then that's fine too.
Right.
But I'm not going to be liked for who I'm not.
Yeah.
Our leaders have been replaced with celebrity people.
I don't think the young people these days will be younger leaders. I don't think they're willing to go that mile that the Malcolm X, the Martin Luther King, the Fred Hamptons. I don't feel like we're in a society right now that's going to be willing to do what those types of people did. Now, I'm not, you know what I mean? And I think that when you're calling yourself like a black leader and wanting to be in that, you have to kind of be willing to be on the chopping block. And a guy on Instagram, his name is Will. He sent us a video of a gentleman talking about where are the black leaders.
Al Sharpton is 67. Jesse Jackson is 80. The Honorable Louis Farrakhan is 83, 84. Or
more. You might be
let's say 84. This is the oldest black leadership in our history. And so nobody is passing the baton to the next generation. Here I am, Jay, at 50, and they calling me a young man. Maxine Waters is 83. Wow. So those who are operating in leadership for our people should be in retirement.
Right.
And I don't mean that negatively. I'm not throwing shade. I'm saying historically, those who are coming out of the AUC, those out of North Carolina A&T, and those on the corner, there's not been a revolution that is not led by young people.
Facts.
So the reason why we're not seeing revolution, but we're seeing really stagnation, is we've not made room for the next generation to come through.
So he's saying that we haven't made...
He's saying they need to go sit down, basically.
Yeah,
black leadership has been replaced with celebrities. And the thing is that what kids... You know, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X got killed. They were young men. They weren't old.
No.
They weren't 50. They weren't even 50 yet. You know what I mean? And they were gunned down. Fred Hampton was only 18. Like 18, 21. Something like that, right? I forget how old he was. But he wasn't even, he's barely an adult. But what I'm saying is, we don't have anybody their age, is my point. Even though they died, we at that time, there were several different ages of people. Like from anywhere from Fred Hampton, who was young, to Martin Luther King was like middle age. And then, so we had, that's what he's saying. Like we had all these different ages of like black types of leaders.
I don't think
on different aisles.
Yeah,
on different parts of the the spectrum. Because Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, they didn't have the same perspective. They had different perspectives, but look, they were leaders in their own way. The Black Panthers, regardless if you believe in them or not. Now we don't have those types of leaders anymore. Most of them are like he said. Louis Farrakhan is in his 80s. Maxine Waters is in her 80s. What's his name? Al Sharpton is also up there. I mean, and so these people need to really. It is time for them to retire. Somebody was saying the other day that we need to stop electing these people who are in their 70s. We don't have black leaders anymore. We have black celebrities who are not black leaders. They're just, you know what I mean? We replaced. See, back in the 50s and 60s, the black leaders of that time were the singers, and the celebrities were influenced by the leaders.
Right.
Now it's just celebrities
are the leaders.
Right. So we've lost this. This is the reason why we have such a hard time, where our country looks kind of bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's because we don't really have those smart thinking leaders anymore.
And the older black people that are still leaders that are still alive,
they're really talking about something.
They're not, but they're not. Most of them are just kind of going with the.
No, I mean, most celebrities, we replaced like real conversation with materialism and sex.
Right.
And so that's why I say like the real leaders are kind of gone. Maxine Waters says she liked WAP, so she's not really a real leader to me anymore. She doesn't. I don't want her to talk.
Yeah.
If she's going to talk like that, you know what I mean? This is a woman who's from the civil rights era talking like a nut. You know what I mean?
So why would you say that?
And then we have like what's his name? Al Sharpton, who virtue signals all the time. Only when it's convenient for him. You know, he don't want to talk about anything else, but he'll go and wherever they send him. You know what I mean? And he'll say something for a little while, and then he's gone. You know what I mean? And Jesse Jackson, you don't really see anymore because they're just old. They're all old now. Yeah. You know what I mean? They can barely do the rounds that they used to be able to do. So now we're just stuck with LeBron James and Beyonce and, all of these people. Now I will say there are some people that are saying stuff. Like I think Ice Cube was saying some stuff.
Yeah.
I can get with that. He's a celebrity that actually talks about real stuff. You know what I mean? The most you get out of people like Jay-Z and Beyonce is that they have a lot of money. Yeah. That's it. Even Oprah at this point. I mean, it's mostly just, look at us, we're rich. Now I have some respect for wealth. I like wealth. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is the real things, that, especially for Black leaders, the real things that are causing our problems in our community, no one really wants to ever talk about. They only want to talk about things and sexuality and who can be the most naked and, like, just materialism. That's like it.
They're trying to make you, again, like we say all the time, they're trying to stop you from critically thinking about anything real. Then the Black leaders that are supposed to be the Black leaders do crazy things. Like the Black Lives Matter co-founder. She took some of that money.
Yeah.
From the Black Lives Matter and bought some houses. So it's kind of...
I mean, it is...
There's your leaders. There's one of your leaders that they are.
They're just not widespread anymore.
There's some
you can't really talk like when you talk real. You get canceled. I mean, even
Candace Owens is the leader, but people don't.
Yeah, but they call her a sellout the instant she starts talking. Right. She wants to talk about something other than the left wing narrative. Then they call her a sellout, so they don't care anymore. I mean, you can go to there's a lot of conservative Black people that are really talking about a lot of stuff, but they get censored because most media is liberal, so they don't really. You can't really hear them, what they're saying, those perspectives are just completely shut down. You know what I mean? And so everything is just like, if you don't want to talk about police brutality, then you don't want to talk about anything else about Black.
But people get really upset. People get mad when you talk about stuff. Like recently, we've had a few people, because I know we've lost a few, we gained some back, but we've lost a few subscribers because of the fact that we've talked about the conservative stuff, right? And it's like, people shut down. Like, they don't really want to hear. You know what I mean? Like, I think people are afraid to change. Or
maybe they're afraid to hear something that might make sense, and then they have to change. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are sometimes people, like, I know for me, the left was going back crazy. That shit crazy for me. I don't know
what they were doing.
I don't know what's going on.
I still don't know what they're doing
with Democrats right now. You know what I mean? But there are still great Democrats, but I'm just saying I don't know what's going on with the far left right now. They've completely left me.
Yeah.
My thinking anyway. But then, because of that, I was able to listen to the conservative side of, of the spectrum, and they sound more sane. But I listen to them sometimes, I'm thinking, but what's wrong with this? This is normal.
Right.
This is sane conversation right here. But whenever you talk, whenever you agree with someone who isn't, and you're Black, and you agree with someone who is, and another, that's not liberal, whether they be Black or white,
right?
Then you're just like, you guys are lost.
Okay, we got a comment.
What are you talking about? Just because someone doesn't think like you does not mean they're lost. You know what I mean?
We got a comment from a subscriber, not anymore. He says he's not going to follow us anymore. Okay, that's fine.
That's fine.
But I mean, it's. I just think, what I feel like. I feel like it's in order to spark change in the world, you have to be able to listen to all sides of everything. And when you shut down, because someone's saying something different than what you're thinking, like you're being small-minded.
Right.
You're not willing to open your mind up. You know what I mean?
Right.
There are some things that, conservatives say that maybe I don't agree with sometimes. And there's some things that liberals say that maybe I do. I just think with us, though, it's just really important for us to just tell the truth the way we see things are for us. And the last thing I want to do is come on here and just lie.
Yeah.
Just to make people, because we know that most Black people are liberals. You know what I mean?
Most Black people are watching us.
Most Black people are watching us, and most Black people are liberals. So we understand that, and we also respect. We've had many conversations with our subscribers that we can have a kind of like back and forth with, and without everyone just canceling everybody.
Yeah, and also, like, I don't. The thing is like I I like people to subscribe, but I'm not one of those people that is going to do anything to keep you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I appreciate you being here, and if this is where we part ways, then that's fine too.
Right.
But I'm not going to be liked for who I'm not.
Yeah.
You understand? I'd rather you just not like me, but I will be myself. I'm not going to, I'm not going to sit here and not talk about things that to me is a real issue.
Well, because if I were to do that, that would be messing up my integrity. And because I have integrity, I don't feel the need to come here and just give you guys a bunch of BS.
Because there are some black people that are liberal that think black people don't do anything wrong. Like you can't criticize any part of the black community.
You can't.
You're lost. It's like, well, why? Because I criticize something that we do. Yeah. What do we ever do anything wrong?
Right.
Are we in charge of
black people
in charge of any of the problems that we create?
Apparently not.
Do we create any? Is everything something that happens to us?
Do
we ever get to take personal responsibility ever?
No.
That's just my point. Do we ever? And because I take personal responsibility, then you're gonna like sort of crap on me because I believe in personal responsibility.
Right.
I believe that everything that happens is not just happening to black people. Like this whole world, first of all, not all black people are the same. Everybody's not doing and feeling and acting the same way. But for some reason, no matter how much money you have, no matter what walk of life you have, no matter what, liberal like black people think that all black people are exactly the same. We got to think the same and be, you know what I mean? I think Malcolm X once said that there will be no understanding between black and white until black people can understand each other.
That's it.
And that is true. Until we can understand that we are different.
Yeah.
And that we see different things, and it's okay to believe something else. It's okay to vote your values. It's okay if you don't want to, do everything together.
Yeah.
But to understand each other means to respect each other. No matter what.
But not being someone like, when I think about this whole like we're the black leader type things, like it's like they're out there, but the truth is that a lot of black leaders right now, a lot of them on the more conservative end.
Yeah,
I think the
ones worth listening to.
Did you just read today that more black people are becoming conservative?
They said more young black more. It's not huge, but they're noticing that there's an increase of young black people considering themselves conservative. And the reason why is because just look at the world. You don't even got to do any. Just take a look. I think you said that on one of the videos. I just took a look at the world, our nation. I looked at it and I thought something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
And so there are some young black people who are starting to look at it and think, yeah, this isn't. Right.
Did the video we did prior to this? Something's wrong.
When you go too far right, it's ridiculous to me. But if you go too far left, it's too much.
That.
Kind of need both, but there needs to be some sort of meeting in the middle. You don't just shoot people down because they have a different set of values.
So there might be some black leaders that when people say where are the black leaders, there might be some there, or there are some there. I know. It's just that you're not willing to hear them because they're not thinking the way that you're thinking. So if people are not talking like Maxine Waters and Jessie J, these older ones, like you'll never know they exist because you're not willing to see the other side. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like if they're there. It's just I think that the people that are there, these black leaders, I feel like they're not going to be heard because black people don't want to hear a different way than we've always been taught and told. Yeah. You know what I mean? So.
And sometimes
they might be just
because you don't agree with everything that they say doesn't mean you can't agree with some things that they say.
I don't agree with everything.
I don't agree with everything that liberals say, but I don't not agree either. There are some things that we need to work on, and then the same thing with the conservative side. Yeah. I don't agree with everything Republicans say, but they do say some stuff that
you can't deny.
You can't deny. You know what I mean? And just to sit there and just shut down people's voices, because if I were white, no one would say I was lost.
Right.
They only say black. I'm lost because I'm black, and I'm gonna assume this person was black. You know what I mean? Because this is the way that black people treat each other when they leave. This one girl said on one of those debate shows, she said it was harder for me to come out as gay than it was for me to be a black person coming out as a Republican. She was just like, it was so crazy when I came as a gay. She's like, it was hard. She's like, but when I came out as a Republican, as a black person, I never got treated so bad in my whole life by my own people.
And we've had several of these kind of comments where people have said that, I'm going to leave because I'm just thinking, it's okay, you can go. I want you to be able to watch the content that you feel speaks to you.
Right.
But I would, challenge you in life. You might want to engage in a dialogue with people who don't think like you. It's because I used to do that. I used to only engage in dialogue with people who thought just like me, because that would make all of us right? No, but that's what you're thinking, because that's your little bubble world that you're in, But when I was venturing off to see what maybe the other side, they saying anything that makes sense.
They're saying anything.
Anything. And the truth of the matter is that they are. They are. And I can't. I can't deny that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just think that people need to engage. That's why we have the shows, because we like for conversations like this to happen. We want to be able to have this type of dialogue, and we want Black people to know that not all Black people are alike.
They're not.
Not all Black people are alike. I mean, and I get it. If you don't feel comfortable with the things that we're saying, like I get that. I understand that. At the same time, I do feel like you have to be able to open your mind and just to be able to understand
don't
that
be afraid to be challenged.
We're not all the same.
So Mark Lamont Hill did an interview on his show. He's a Black news station and about CRT, and he had this white guy that he was debating, and at the end of the conversation he says, this is like a got you question, and this is what I hate when Black people do this. And it's just like he goes what do you like about being white? And so the guy was just like, I don't want to answer, like I want you to judge me by the content of my character, not by my race. I don't think that I want to sit here and tell you what it feels like, you know what I mean? And I was like, don't do that. That's a rude question. To put a white man on the spot, like, and he was just like, he's just like, I can tell you what I like about being Black, and he just talked about culture stuff. You know what I mean? And he was just like, so what do you like about being white? Why are you? He was just like, I don't want to answer that. I'm not going to answer your question, because I don't like to go into. I don't like to talk about people that way, because everyone's different. Just because you're Black doesn't mean that you just do everything what's considered Black. Stereotypically Black. And just because you're white doesn't mean that you do everything that people can stereotypically call Black. I don't want to judge people like that. That's not how we come together. We don't come together asking questions like that. We come together being like MLK, being judged by the content of our character, not our skin color. So you're actually being racist right now, Mark, by doing that to him and making him, making him ask questions like that. It's like, I got you questions. Because he knows that if he says anything about
it's all
being happy about being white,
anything
he's a Nazi or a skinny, like that's what happens, and I don't like that. So that's what we call
this could
race
be.
baiting.
But Mark Lamont Hill, Mark could be a Black leader. He is in a position where he's he's got an articulate, well-spoken, he's a professor. He's like he's smart. But he does these things. But
he does this condescending thing when he tries to.
He's liberal, right?
He's a liberal.
He's a Democrat, right? So it's like, okay, I'm willing to take any Black leaders at this point. I don't care what side you want. But if you're saying you cannot say silly, stupid stuff like that. Yeah. You can't be that way, and then me think you're his leader now. No.
It's like the guy. It's like literally, if you watch the video, it almost looks like the guy was beating him on the debate, and because he didn't beat him. And he realized it. You can kind of tell in people's faces when they look a little defeated. Then he decided to give a gotcha question at the end and try to wrap it up with, "What do you like about being white?" Why would you do that? That's like.
It's kind of weak.
It's just weak. It's like, I didn't win the debate, so now I'm going to sit here and try to make you look like a racist by backing you in a corner, asking you a question that makes you uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And so the guy answered the question right. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm always I love being on the side of my own people, but when you do something dumb like that, then you cause me to have to then call you out.
We're not moving
in the right direction here.
We're not moving towards Black leadership.
And so there isn't. Our leaders have been replaced with celebrity people who make movies and people who make music. But the problem is that they're not really talking about anything. They're mostly just talking about themselves and their stardom. And they're like we were saying the other day, they're in the Icon Awards.
Yeah, and I don't think the young people these days, will be younger leaders. I don't think they're willing to go that mile that the Malcolm X, the Martin Luther King, the Fred Hamptons. Yeah, I don't think they're willing to go that those men put themselves in harm's way to bring up the black community, right? They put themselves in harm's way for a cause, right? And I don't know if we're a society right now. I don't feel like we're a society right now that's going to be willing to do what those types of people did. Now, I'm not, you know what I mean? And I think that when you're calling yourself like a black leader and wanting to be in that, you have to kind of be willing to be on the chopping block in a lot of ways. And so I don't know if we're a society now that would be like those people.
I mean, most celebrities in the 50s and 60s, or let's just say late 60s, late 60s and 70s were they were inspired. All of their music, like you listen to the Temptations, if you listen to Stevie Wonder, if you listen to any Al Green, any of these older black, the OJs, anything. Most of the music of that time was socially conscious. Like they were talking about social. They went from the Temptations, went from My Girl to Papa Was a Rolling Stone. And so the music changed because leaders were talking about causes. Their music was so great because they were inspired by leaders and what was going on. There were civil rights. And you would think that as much as we bring up race now, that you will see more of that. But we don't. Yeah. We talk more about our looks. And we talk more about, superficial things.
So we want to know where your black leaders went. We're not talking about.
Anyway, our music has gotten worse. Yeah. I mean, if you really look at the BET Awards, that music is awful. That's black people acting on stage that way, talking like that about men talking horribly about women on stage, women acting horribly on stage. And so this is what our young people are ingesting. And these are the new black leaders.
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So when you were saying that the celebrity replaced them.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, Maxine White, they're all old. This is true. Their revolution happened and they did their thing, right? But it's like they are old. So that's where they are. The new black leaders are really celebrities types, are influencers. You know what I mean?
We talk about what's going on in the world and we get called lost. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You understand? Up is down, left is right, in is out. Everything is just
we're talking about some socially conscious stuff. We're talking about some controversial topics. And
people, just because I happen to say I'm a conservative black, then I get called, lost or coon or whatever you want to call me. Yeah. But I'm talking about real stuff you can debate me on, things that we can talk about.
Which, by the way, I like that.
Right.
We've had subscribers who don't always agree with us. We have a lot of liberal subscribers.
And a lot of people that talk like me are right-wing black people.
Yeah.
But they don't get to be on CNN and MSNBC.
No,
they don't get to be on the Oscars. Because most people in Hollywood are running this country, and most people in Hollywood are liberals. Hollywood liberals, the Hollywood elite. So you're not going to hear a lot of critical thinking debates. Really, not really. They just want you to think one way.
That's it. And just be, just do the typical stuff. Once you do talk about some really conscious things, there are people who are just not willing to handle that. And so they need surface.
Yeah.
And that's what celebrity is doing for them. They like seeing the surface stuff, and we like to scrape and dig and shovel.
And by the way, the surface to get down to what's going on. I believe BET is owned by a white person.
It is. Yeah.
Letting black people do that.
Right.
And are they really doing that much to make black people look and do and feel better? Or are they perpetuating a stereotype about us?
Talk about black leadership, and I just feel like that is when we talk about black leadership, it just makes me laugh every time, because whenever someone black is trying to take over that new role, and if they think differently than majority of black people, which we know the majority of black people are Democrats, right, and they're liberal or whatever, liberal leaning at least, that they're not going to get listened to.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's a joke.
I've had several black people on the left. Several black people tell me that Obama didn't do anything for us. I've had them say that. Then I asked them, if he was to run again, would you vote for him? They go, yes. So you're just going to vote for him because he's black? Like, you're not even going to care about his platform? Yeah, just because you think that our faces are in the office does not mean that they're actually working on behalf of you.
We've had people say to us that, I thought I was the only black person that thought like you guys. Like, because let me say, I said this to somebody in the comments. There's a lot of Black people who do feel the way that we feel, but they will not be vocal about it because they know
just
coon, sellout, bedwench. That's what we're
talk about voting against your own interest. Yeah. Just so you can say you voted for a person that looks black like you,
but did nothing
for you.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't even make any sense.
It says there has to be logical in this. Like I think it to be more logical. I do want there to be more black leaders. I do agree with this man in his video. This man in his video is completely accurate what he's saying, and I don't even know what his political standing is. That's not the point. I have no idea. I don't even care what his political standing is. Democrat, Republican, Independent. I don't care what you are. But if you're talking about something, he's talking about something. He's calling something out. He's saying they're too old. No offense, he said. And he was right. That to me is somebody who I want to listen to. So the idea of new people coming in to kind of be the new Maxine Waters and the new, this, it's like, have you seen Society? I mean, I know they're there. I'm just saying that it's. I think you're right. I feel like they've been replaced.
Just replaced with celebrities.
And we're too surface. And this is why I like having conversations like this, because we're just to uplift the surface. Like I said, we like to scratch and dig and shovel under the surface, and that's what we want to talk about.
Yeah. What would happen if we actually changed?
Right.
If we were actually acting different and we took ourselves a little more seriously. Young society has chosen. They like celebrities.
Yeah. And that's it.
And that's to his question, that guy's question. That is it.
That's it.
We have all chosen to follow the celebrities, and celebrities are just mouthpieces for companies.
Yeah.
And so they are just going to just do whatever someone tells them to do and say, and we just follow that. They get money for that. The people they're all of the people that represent them. Are watching.
Okay, but let us know what you guys think about all these here topics that we've been talking about. Leave some comments below. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And that's it. Everybody have a good day. Bye.